This Ballooncast episode has been written by Darius Farrow, who writes about Stoicism. The title is On Living a Resourceful Life. Levels, pre-intermediate up. Have you noticed how quickly we become accustomed to the things we have in our lives? We all have our objects we think we can't live without. When I'm at home, I generally wear several pairs of shoes during the day. I have my favorite pair for running, another one for going on walk, a pair I like to wear when I lift weights, and a few pairs for social situations. But when I go on a trip or on a vacation, I can't bring all the shoes I like to wear. When I go away with a suitcase, I usually wear my favorite sneakers and I'll bring a pair of running shoes. Before I leave, I always think, I wish I could bring everything I need. But as soon as I arrive, I realize that I actually don't need that much to do exactly the same things I do at home. It's not just shoes, of course. This is true of many of things we think we need, and something Seneca explained well. He said, I quote, "Until we have begun to go without them, we fail to realize how unnecessary many things are. We've been using them not because we needed them, but because we had them," unquote. Think about it. How many things in your life can you classify like that? I know it's difficult to imagine a life without your favorite mug or any other thing you've grown accustomed to. But once you leave your home, you realize you can continue to live well. If you think you need a whole laundry list of items you can't live without, you are giving material objects too much power. The only things we really can't live without are the basics: water, food, and shelter. Other things are optional. When you live your life focusing on material objects, two things happen. One, you are not supposed to get attached to objects. Sometimes things like jewelry, shoes, clothes, or your favorite mug become part of your identity. But we are not defined by what we own. These are simply things we temporarily have in our lives. Two, you feel grateful for what you do have. Janet Jackson and Joni Mitchell was spot on when she sang, quote, "You don't know what you've got till it's gone," unquote. She, of course, talked about a lover, but it's really true across the board. When the things you rely on are temporarily out of your life, you realize that you didn't appreciate them enough. That should serve as a reminder to be grateful today for what you do have. One of the biggest benefits I've experienced from Stoicism is that philosophy makes you resourceful. In life, it's not about what we have, it's about what we do with the things we do have. As I'm writing this, the economy is very unstable. It seems as if our economy is like a ruler that's balancing on a finger. It goes all over the place. The only thing it's not is stable. When I speak to entrepreneurs and investors, I hear two types of thinking. People are either worried about all of the risks, and there are a lot of them, and yet keep doing what they are doing, or they are already preparing themselves for a downturn. The latter group is willing to do whatever it takes to adapt. The former group feels uncomfortable with change. The other day, I was talking to a business owner in his 60s. We were talking about the possibility of a recession and bear market that lasts for years, not months. Quote, "I'll work a few extra years or tighten my belt. I'll do whatever," unquote, he said defiantly. To have that type of stoic fortitude, we need to train ourselves. That type of willingness to do whatever it takes only comes from taking action for years. It's not something you build in a year or two. It takes decades. That might sound off-putting, but it's 100% worth it. If the business owner I was talking to didn't build self-confidence throughout his life, I bet he wasn't that defiant right now. He would be worried out of his mind. But instead, he was something that many people don't have: resourcefulness. The ability to find creative and realistic ways to overcome difficulties. Start practicing now with small things, and you'll thank yourself later when that resourcefulness comes in handy.